Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
How was your day, Alexa?
It's cool.
I was talking to my Amazon Echo, actually.
Oh, shut up. Alexa, what's the weather like? All right. Speaking of automated computers and technology.
Oh, yes. What a segue.
Thanks. I tried really hard.
Okay.
So we just came from a movie.
Yep.
It's Hunger Games meets Guardians of the Galaxy.
I guess.
No, it's not.
Well, it's
not.
Well, yeah, okay, sure.
So we just watched. What did we just watch?
Passengers.
Passengers.
With Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt.
I'm sorry. I feel bad because we should have watched it sooner.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Alexa didn't want to watch this movie. She made every excuse not to watch
I'm
this film.
sorry.
Well, does that mean that you actually appreciated this film or no?
I did.
Appreciated in like, does that mean you liked it, or is you just like you thought it was all right?
I liked it.
Okay, good. Why don't you tell us what you liked about this film?
Well, I love Chris Pratt.
Well, hold on. For those people who aren't sure what Passengers is about, even though it's been out for a long time
Chris Pratt
now,
being beautiful.
It's a science fiction set in the future, and they're on their way to another colony, like thousands of light years away.
It's supposed to take like 90 years to get there or whatever.
You're covering my rear view, side view mirror.
I'm sorry. Well, you don't go yet. It's the next one.
I know, but I was about to go. Anyway, okay, so
I'm sorry.
It's set. Yeah, I don't know how far in the future, but it was going to take them about 120 years to get to the planet that they're supposed to colonize, and 30 years into the trip, they hit like this massive asteroid belt or field or whatever, and something malfunctions, and Chris Pratt wakes up by himself.
Yeah.
And then he goes through this phase of like turning into Dexter and then Daniel Bryan and then yeah. Anyway, so anyway, what did you like about the film?
I love Chris Pratt.
Okay.
He is beautiful.
Okay.
I've been listening to his wife's podcast, and like he like drops in on one of them, so it's just, I mean, I have a hard time like disassociating like the person to the character.
Sure, yeah.
And just because like I'm not too crazy about Jennifer Lawrence, like she's just the it person these days, and it's like she just seems,
it's true,
she seems too young to me.
She fills that current role that Once Upon a Time Anne Hathaway used to fill.
Really?
Once Upon a Time
Julia Roberts?
Oh, well, yeah, if you want to go that far back, but I was going to say, like, Scarlett Johansson used to fill that role.
Yeah.
It's just like, she's the girl that's always in everything.
Yeah. I mean, like, and it's, I don't know. Like, I watched a lot of movies with her, and it's like, she's not terrible. Yeah. It just feels weird, like her to Chris Pratt, but I'm like, all right, fine.
Because you know she's young? Or?
Yeah, she just seems really young.
I don't know. Well, I mean,
I don't know.
That's how Scarlett Johansson always felt too. But even though she was, that's how I feel about Chris Pratt as well. Where it's like, I think he did a pretty good job. It's just, it's hard to not see the comedy in him. Yeah. Like he has a comedic personality that, it's just, it's not that it didn't work for his character, but for like this, there's one scene that I thought felt really awkward and unusual, and that was the scene where he's trying to apologize to Jennifer Lawrence over the intercom. I won't spoil why, but like he goes over the intercom of the ship and he starts talking to her and says stuff, and like he's trying to be all serious, but it just came off as it almost felt ingenuine is what it felt like. So I think that kind of worked against him. I think Jennifer Lawrence honestly though did a good job as an actress. Like every scene. I do also like how in the end, like she's not just this, she wasn't just like Chris Pratt wasn't the only hero. Like she was doing heroic stuff in the end too. I won't spoil the ending. either, but you know what I mean by that?
Mhm.
Like she was the one doing all this stuff. And
Yeah, I mean, because there was a lot of stuff as I was watching. There's a lot of stuff that like I called. I was like, I feel like this is gonna happen.
always do that, though.
I feel like this is gonna happen. But it's like, despite that, like I was still taken for the ride.
Sure.
You know, like as much as there was things that, you know, and it's like that's a tricky thing to be able to pull off. You know, that you can just go along with what's going on and stuff.
You know, it's kind of like I kind of want to spoil something.
I mean, this
Like,
movie's been out for a while, so
alright.
it's not gonna.
Okay,
I mean,
well, let's
people-
just talk about. Hold on, let me think. What else did I like about the film? So I mean, you know, like being a huge Star Trek fan, I do like the idea. Every Star Trek fan who's a Star Trek fan does think about what it would be like if they lived solely on a spaceship and like, you know, drifting through the stars and like having just a small community of people that you're kind of stuck with and you have to interact with. So that's second nature to me, just to see a sci-fi movie about that. The ship malfunctioning and everything, you know, like that was a page out of Star Trek. You know, it felt like this could have been a TV show on sci-fi, but
Yeah.
you throw in Chris Pratt, Jennifer Lawrence, like that was the kind of the script. It could have been this could have been extended to a season.
Yeah.
Like, or at least a miniseries.
Yeah, that does
on
feel like
Sci-Fi.
those shows on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, but honestly though, it's terrible that a lot of shows on Sci-Fi just kind of get thrown aside and not treated properly, not given the, you know, the attention that they deserve just because they're on Sci-Fi. A lot of shows fail on Sci-Fi, unfortunately, because a lot of directors and a lot of actors who are kind of B actors and B directors go to Sci-Fi. And B writers too, unfortunately. But some good ones like Battlestar Galactica, The Expanse, Ascension. You know, those are good movies. I mean, TV shows. Okay, hold on. Where were we going to now? Okay, so the spoiler. Spoiler at the end. Fast forward like 5 minutes from now if you don't want to get the spoiler for the ending. And this is the thing I'm curious about. What you think? So, anyway, Chris Pratt tells Jennifer Lawrence that she can get into the medical bay and he can put her back in stasis to sleep until the end of the trip. But he'll be alone.
Mm-hmm.
So they fall in love, they're together, they have some ups and downs and bumps along the way, but this is the decision that he gives her, and the big twist at the end, it's not really a twist, but the big decision at the end is that she decides she wants to stay and live with Chris Pratt, and they want to just be alive, just the two of them, for the rest of their lives. What do you think about that? What did you think about that ending?
I mean, yeah. Yes.
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 That's what you think, okay.
But I'm just thinking, like, so how does this work? Like, do they have kids? Like, does she have
Well, see,
access?
that's
Does
what
she
I was
have
thinking.
access to contraceptives? Like,
Well, see, that's what I was thinking. It's
what
like,
does this mean? How does this
that's
work?
kind of scary because to me it's like, what happens if one of you dies? Then you're stuck for the rest of your life alone because you can't go into the medical bay and
That's what
and
I
put
was thinking.
yourself
That's what I was
in
thinking too.
stasis
Like,
for the rest
that's
of
not a
your-
good idea
Yeah,
because then you kind of need
one
that.
of you dies and that's
Yeah.
scary. So also like childbirth, if she tried to have kids, like what if she died in childbirth or something like that?
Yep.
That's dangerous. These are dangerous
Yep.
things. I mean, those are, I guess, the risks you take, but those are different. And also at the same time, it's like, I wonder if she, say they decide to live the rest of their lives together, she gets pissed at him. What's to prevent her from getting so upset over some little argument? Because couples fight all the time. To
But
be
they
like,
kill
you know
each-
what? Screw you. Put me in stasis. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine just living with that option for the rest of your life with somebody? I don't know. That's kind of, to me, that's what I would think about. Anyway, end of spoiler section. unless you wanted to comment more on that.
No.
But
What?
I was just gonna say I did like the film overall.
Yeah.
It was almost everything that I expected.
I think
it to be.
it's just there's been a lot of space movies lately, like just a lot of space in space, people in space, and like I've been really apprehensive to like watch them, because there's one that's the one that's coming out with Jake Gyllenhaal, and like I love Jake Gyllenhaal, but I haven't been loving him lately, so just cause. But it's like watching this movie is making me be like, okay, like I can give these a chance. Like I should give space a chance.
Give space a chance.
Give space a space.
You know what movie this is a very similar to is like Gravity, Sandra Bullock, The Martian.
See, I didn't want to watch that. I didn't want to watch that. I didn't.
Interstellar. Also
I didn't want to watch that either. They're all like they all just got. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they all in my head they all got lumped into a generalization of stars and space and spaceship and space people in space, but it's like, like it's kind of like that when I have a judgment about like a certain type of personality of people, but then when I get to know like one person from that, I'm like, all right, like you are a special, unique, distinct person, and you have a personality, and I will give you a chance.
Okay.
So this is me meeting one person out of the generalization, and I'm giving him a chance. So and because I like space, I like space. I like Star Treks. So I like space. So space.
Yes.
It reminded me of like kind of reminded me of like WALL-E. Just it's like those kinds of movies where it's just like a.
Spoil it for me. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's so cute. Well, WALL-E's interesting because there's no dialogue like most of the time.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
But it's
that sounds like a 2-hour-long Pixar short.
But it's but they can tell a whole story. I don't know.
I'm sure.
But like where it's just a very very simple cast. It's just two people just for a while.
For sure.
And what else? I mean, very Star Trek. I don't know.
Yeah. Would you want to be stuck on a spaceship with just me for the rest of your life?
I think I'm too much of a Earth.
Too much of an Earth?
Yeah. Like the idea. Okay, like they were saying they're like, okay, they're basically signing up to like fall asleep for 120 years or whatever, and just move to a whole new place and just start like, exactly. Like
I would rather live on the ship.
Like they're watching it. Like she's watching videos of her friends like at her goodbye party, and they're like, like you're gonna be dead when you read this, and it's like, dang, like crap, man. That's
yeah.
like that's the thing with like looking into these kinds of futuristic space.
Yeah.
But I love Chris Pratt. He's great. He's beautiful. He is just great.
Sure.
And beautiful.
Sure. He's kind of getting lumped up into a stereotype too now, with like science fiction with more like a relatable dude in space. You know what I mean? Like,
relatable dude in space.
Exactly what it is. It's like he's this guy that you could go have beers with, and hang out with, and probably play some video games with. But he's also like, but he's in movies and he's in science fiction.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
space. Space is for space.
Anything else we want? One thing I kept asking, and I guess they answered the question, but this is what I kept asking is, it is established in the film that Chris Pratt has, basically they have the ability to wake up people from stasis. Like they know how to do it. Jennifer Lawrence, her opinion on it is that it's murder though.
mean, it's like, I mean, if that was me, I'm like, that's still not okay, you know? I mean, but it's like, you know, you gotta accept your fate and everything, so I guess that outweighs it, but it's like, that's still not okay.
Like, why wouldn't, one discussion that I was thinking, why wouldn't they have this discussion is, why don't we like go through people's files maybe and see who might not have a problem with us waking them up or something like that. I don't know. But here's the thing: is that the ship starts malfunctioning, and like I'm saying, why doesn't Chris Pratt just go to a pod of like a scientist or like an engineer who knows how to fix these pods and wake him up? And I guess part of their answer in the film was that the engineers and the scientists and the crew, they're all locked off in an area that's like they don't have clearance to enter. So I guess that's answered appropriately. But then again, towards the end of the film, and I won't spoil a twist, but they do get access eventually. And at the same time, like, why wouldn't they consider that? I don't know.
Space.
Yeah.
Space.
The premise of the film lends itself to. Oh, I forgot if I was taking you home or if I'm taking you home. Okay. So Alexa, how out of 0 out of 10, how many food rations would you give this film?
Give it.
How many swimming scenes?
What?
How many scenes in the pool will you give this?
What?
That was probably like 6. There was about 6 scenes of Jennifer Lawrence swimming in the zero gravity pool.
I would give it.
Just say 7.
No.
7.5. You always do it.
No. I want to give it an 8.75.
An 8.75.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will give it a 7 because I do honestly feel 7 towards you, which is 7 is a good number.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to reviewing 50 Shades of Grey, the movie that started it all.
50 Shades. Yeah.
50 Shades of Grey times 2, so 100 part 2, so 100 grades.
Right.
100 grades of Shay.
So it'll also mark a year since we started doing reviews.
Dude, we've been doing it for more than a year.
But 50 Shades of Grey was last year.
I don't know.
Last Valentine's Day, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. But we watched, I don't know. You're right. Maybe I'm lying.
Unless it was 2 years ago, then we've been doing
I think it was. I don't know.
50 Shades was 2 years
I think
ago?
it was. Because I don't know.
Okay, well.
We'll fact check and write it in the comments, I guess.
Anyway.
Yeah, fact check.
Alright, guys. Well, this is about the end of our review. You can follow me on Twitter at Victor_Quan. Follow me on Instagram at Victor_Quan.
Oh, yeah, booze. Oh, my lordy. Stay safe out there, people. You can follow me on Twitter at HalfConformist and on Instagram at MalExcellentAnn. And thanks to our sponsors, MeUndies and Blue Apron. And oh, what's the other one? The one with like
TrueCars.com.
No.
something, and never overpay.
What else sponsors?
Also, if you guys want to go check out our Patreon account, we would love it if you did that. The shaving club thing.
Oh yeah, Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club.
What else does a sponsor? There's like the Nature Box. Oh yeah, Nature Box.
Sure.
And don't forget to use the code.
Daniel.
That's a long code.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
All right. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Goodbye.